So we're doing origami today over here. I have a couple different projects of various difficulty levels. So I can send you, I found these instructions online. So I can post those in the chat as well if people want to try some of the harder ones. We'll see how many we can get to for today. I do have origami paper, so I'm going to be doing some of the tutorials with my origami paper. If you don't have that, you can use regular paper. We just need to make it into squares. So I'll show you how to do that too. But I'll kind of show around like what I have. This I think is the easiest one. It's just like a tree triangle that you fold. And then I found another one that is a Santa. This I made out of like scrap paper. And then this one I made out of wrapping paper. This one's super easy. I think he looks like a gnome with the big triangle hat. So that's fun. So the wreath is also pretty easy. You just need strips of paper instead of the squares. So I just took origami squares and cut them in half long ways. We'll go over that too. The bow we might not get to because the bow was rough. This bow thing took me like 3 tries to figure out. And then this one actually involves cutting. So it's not true origami. I believe it's called kirigami when you cut. There are a couple cuts you have to make. And then this little dude is a penguin. No cutting, all origami. A couple difficult parts on the head, but that one's not so bad. This thing, a couple of cuts for the tree branches. Just like medium difficulty level with that one. And I like this one because it stands. That one's kind of nice. And then these guys I made all the time when I was a kid. They're actually balloons. So you fold it up and then hopefully you can see there's a little hole at the top here and you blow into the hole and it inflates. I used to make these all the time and you can like string them together. These are a lot of fun. So hopefully we'll get to that too. There we go. Yes, Teratot. So I think origami is really cool. Like I like seeing interesting, some people make really interesting and complex things with origami, but I'm not the best at it. I still think, like I said with this bow, like it's not even the most advanced thing ever, but it melted my brain a little bit the first time I tried to do it. But we shall try today. I'll start on the more easy stuff, and then we can work our way to the harder things. Sometimes if they have like images to go along with the words, usually I do a little bit better. Some if they don't have any pictures, I end up totally lost. Try to find one with pictures. So first thing I'm going to show you, if you do not have origami paper handy, that is okay. The important thing about origami is that they're in squares so that they're equal on all sides in order to fold things properly. So I'm just going to take this normal printer paper and I'm going to turn it and cut it into a square and show you how to do that. What you do is you hold it portrait style. So the short part is at the top and then the long edge. Let me not drop my phone, that would be awesome. So the long edge is going down on the sides. Take one corner, fold it over until it meets the opposite edge. We'll try to get as an exact a fold as possible. This is good warm up for our folding, because the key to origami is getting really clean, exact folds. So I have this big triangle piece and then this leftover bit. And so all I have to do is cut off this leftover piece. I'm going to flip it over and just fold all my leftover paper back in on itself so I can cut it more easily. So whenever I fold, I try to press it down and really crease it. Make a really deep crease. It's a little easier to work with. So this part, I just have to cut off with scissors or tear off. I'm just going to use my ruler and use the edge of the ruler to kind of tear it off. It just got a little messy. And then when I unfold this big triangle, I have a perfect square. It's bigger than origami paper, which can come in handy. But that's how you get origami paper with just a normal square. Okay. Let me pull out. Okay, so the easier ones, we have two options. We have tree and we have gnome Santa. Do you guys have a preference on which one you see first? I'm going to start with the easier thing, and then we can get a little more harder as we go through. Let me find my tutorial. All right, we got 2 votes for gnome Santa. I want to share with you guys the instructions I found, just in case if it's not making sense on the camera, or if you want to go a little bit faster on your own pace, we can do that. Okay, so I just shared on the chat the link for the gnome Santa Claus. So you can follow along with me if you want to. So I'm going to use this paper that's red on one side and then white on the other side. The origami paper I got wasn't double-sided, which is really annoying. So I just made my own. I cut out and taped white to it. So it's going to look a little thick. Sorry about that, but that's the easiest way I could think of to illustrate for this. So I'm going to start with the white side facing up. Again, you don't have to use these colors. You know, I used wrapping paper for one. Whatever color you want for the beard. We're going to start with that facing up. And then we're going to fold the corners towards each other so they make a diagonal. They make a big triangle. I'm going to try to line up all these corners as perfectly as I can, and then just press down on that crease. So I get a nice, even, strong crease. So then we're going to fold it in half the other way. Match those triangles. Don't worry if you don't get it completely even. I know I always go slow to try to get as close to even as I can. And then I press down really, really hard. Open that back up. So you have a nice cross in the middle. And then we're going to make a kite shape. So I'm going to take this corner and fold it till it matches with that crease that I made. So I'm not folding it all the way to the edge of the paper. I'm folding it to the middle of the paper. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. If you got it perfect, they will meet in the middle. Mine's not quite meeting in the middle, but that's okay. I'm going to keep going. So here is my kite. I'm going to lay it on my desk straight up and down like this. So I have a white corner on top and then a red corner on bottom. I'm going to take the red corner, fold it up so that it touches the white corner on the top like this. And fold that down, flatten it real good. Mine's kind of thick because it's double layered paper. So if you look on the outside, you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 edges on your paper. Flip it over, looks like that. All right. So once I have this little shape, I'm going to take the top corner or the longest corner and then just turn it down like this. So this is going to become the beard and like the beard face combo for our Santa do. So you can make yours, you know, more long so it goes all the way down. You can make it a little shorter. I'm going to go about here and fold it down. If you notice, what we folded behind has become the hat. So now we just need one more fold for the front, and this is going to be the brim of the hat. I'm just going to take this top edge and fold it over on itself. So I hold both corners very slowly and just bend it down. And again, you can make this thicker if you want to. You can make it thin. I have a lot of layers to work with, so I'm trying to make it a little bit thin. Looks kind of like a boat too, right now. Big boat shape. So now this front part's done. I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to bend the excess on the outside this big triangle shape. I'm going to bend that in. And then this will work like legs. It'll help our gnome Santa man stand on a table. If you want him to be completely flat, you can glue this down or tape this down if you want. I'm going to leave mine sticking out a little bit, so then this guy stands on his own on a table or something. And then that is all the folding that's required for our triangle-shaped paper Santa. All that we need to do now is give him the face. I am dropping my pen caps all over the place. So I'm just using marker.
There's a request to go back a few steps, please.
Which step? Let me see.
for the feet.
Okay. I think you're talking about so you have this. If you're talking about the hat brim, all I'm doing is taking this top edge and folding it down like that.
Great, thanks.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah, that's also why I am posting the website links for you guys too. So if you do get lost, you can always check those out later because they also have pictures. So you can kind of go at your own pace too. So I'm just going to draw a little face to this guy. Little cheeks. I kind of like him without a mouth. Maybe I won't give him a mouth on this one. That is our Santa. Put him with his gnome brethren. There we go. Hopefully that was easy enough to follow. And I give a couple minutes if you guys are still working. If there are any requests for the project you want to see next, please type it in the chat. This is the easiest one we have left. These two, a little bit harder, but still easy. Wreath we can also do as well. You just need more paper than one sheet of paper. Is anybody done with their Santa? You guys need more time? All right, let me look through. I think we'll do, I'll show you this one next because it's very similar. And you get to draw all over it. So that's fun. Kind of customize it however you want. All right, so I just sent you guys the link for this Christmas tree. So I think about 1 minute, I'll start with that so you guys can finish up. So I'll for the paper for this one, I'll have a green side, and then the reverse side will be brown, just for classic tree colors. But if you have color paper, feel free to pick different colors. You pick whatever colors you want. Dear Todd, have you drawn all over your Santa? Good, good. Yeah, I like these ones that are kind of like blank slates that you can just do whatever you want with them. All right, let me get my instructions out so I don't forget. Okay. So the Christmas tree is going to start the same way as the Santa do. They're very, very similar. So we're going to do the diagonal folds, corner to corner. And then we're going to open it up so that the reverse side, like the non-tree side for me, which is brown, we're going to have that facing up and then the green facing down. And we're going to make another kite again. I'm going to take this corner.
A question?
Yeah.
So when it's on the website, there's something about like rotate the picture diamond orientation. What does that mean?
Sorry, I didn't quite get the question. Something about orientation. Oh, diamond orientation. So let me see. So you have the origami paper are in squares, right? You know, so you can have square orientation like this, or you can have diamond orientation like this. So what you're looking at on your paper is the point is straight up, you know? So it's like diamonds.
Oh, got it.
Yeah. It's just another way of saying like orient your paper so you can get a diagonal fold down here. So if I was in diamond orientation, it'd be more like this. And then I'm going to do the other half so I can make that kite shape again. I'm going to try to get it exactly in the middle. And fold it down. So once we got our kite shape, we're going to fold it over like this. So we have the big long part of the triangle on the bottom. So we have long and the kind of like a short triangle up here, left corner, right corner. What I'm going to do is take this right corner, bend it backwards, and fold it to that middle crease. I'm starting to see some of the brown side as well. I'm going to hold that for a second. And then I'm going to do the same thing for the left side. Take this left corner and then fold it in to the middle. So then we got, it's like a gem, like with really sharp corners. So once I got here, I'm actually going to turn it so that the reverse side, which for me is brown, is on the bottom. And then like the tree side's at the top. You will probably have used different colors, whatever color you have. Now we're going to fold it in half, bottom up, like this. So it just makes a triangle. And then we're going to bend it back down at about here. Yeah. Oh, I should have flipped it over. Haha. Sorry, I forgot to flip it over. So instead of this side, we should be looking at this side. Bottom goes up towards the top and then back down like that. Hopefully you can see the folds here. So I left a bit of it kind of stuck to the tree and then just folded the rest down. So I have a little bit of green showing right here. Then I'm going to take this point and fold it up so that the bottom is flat and not pointed. And then I'm going to flip the whole thing over and ta-da! It is a tree. I did a bad job with this fold here, so it's a little bit crooked. You can always adjust. And then if you wanted to tape or glue everything down on the back, you can do that as well. This one I did, it was all one color. So I just went through with markers and I colored this brown and then color the rest of the ornaments. But feel free to color however you feel like. That is all there is to it for the tree. Mine is double. I wanted a double-sided paper so it was a little easier to see. So mine's very puffy. So I'm going to tape it down. A little tree. So very similar to this guy. You end up with a very triangle-based thing at the end that you can, nice little base for you to draw on or color on. Wow. I'll give this one a face. A little tree creature. But I'm waiting if anybody needs to finish up. Evie, you've got a brown tree with a green base. Yeah, you could do like, there's no reason you have to stick to a green tree. You could do whatever color tree. Genetic engineering has gone too far. Oh, thank you, Evie. All right, give you guys a couple minutes to share these. I want to get to the balloon. I think that's a cool one. Does anybody want to share their trees or their Santa?
Can I share mine?
There's one. Yes, please, Nathaniel.
I think something's wrong. Something is not right here. Something is not right.
No, he's awesome. I love his hands. Have you been cutting out hands
Yes.
for them? Yes. Yours really looks like a gnome. I like the gnome kind of look. Does anybody else want to share their Santas or their trees? Tater Tot?
Mine's kind of like that moment when you just got a new eye style, so you decide to use it on everything.
Oh yeah. so
So
is this those are new eyes for you that you're working on?
Yes.
Yeah, it's really working out. It's very detailed.
Thank you.
This is absolutely the time to try out new stuff if you're trying out new style things. All right, anybody else before we move on? Cool. So when I was a kid, again, I said I made these like all the time when I was bored. I don't know why this is the only origami I knew how to make, I guess. So like, you know, those kids menus that you get that are out of paper. Like if we were at a restaurant and I was bored, I would just be making balloons. So this is the finished product. I'm gonna leave that here. So I'm gonna take the square that I made out of regular paper and do it with that so it's nice and big. And I should send you guys directions before we get any further, just in case we miss something. All right, so in the chat, there's a WikiHow on how to make paper balloons. I've also heard these called like water bombs. Apparently you could fill them with water. I have not tried that. That might be a cool thing to try after that. But anyway, we're gonna take our paper, our origami paper, and we're gonna do the diagonal folds again, one going this way, one going this way. I already have the one from earlier when I cut the paper. So I just need the other side. Yeah, not Google Maps kind of directions. Just art directions. Maybe there's like an origami town. All right, so I have this cross in the middle of the paper. I'm gonna fold it 2 more times. So I'm gonna fold it the bottom edge to the top edge. Like that. And then I'm going to fold it again this way. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 lines that will all converge onto that one point. So when you unfold your paper after making all those folds, it should look like this. So I'm going to pause a little bit for you guys to get caught up, because the next part is, I think, the trickiest part of our water balloon. But we kind of have, if you look at the creases, they make 4 triangles with lines in the middle. That's another way to look at it. Or, you know, 4 squares with diagonal lines going through them. Like that. My paper is nice and big. There we go. So when we get to this point, what we're going to do is fold a corner down like that. We're not going to fold the diagonal all the way, just halfway. And then we're going to fold it back over on itself like this. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. Take this edge, fold it down to the middle, and the excess stuff, we just collapse it down until it makes this triangle with with like 2 bits of folded paper in the middle of it. It's like it's collapsed in on itself like an accordion almost. I'll do that one more time so that you guys can see. The wiki also has like a video where the person does this too. So I'm going to go from, I'm holding it square orientation, if that helps. I'm going to take this right edge in the middle of the edge and then fold it down. And so it makes this little triangle over off to the side, and I have all this other excess paper. So I'm like folding halfway along that first diagonal that I made. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to take my edge in the middle where I made that crease and then fold it down to the bottom middle of my paper like that. So you can kind of see there's a triangle on the bottom and then a triangle up here on the top. And all I have to do is flatten it down.
Could you show those steps again? There's a request.
Yeah. I'll do it one more time. Again, if the internet video might be more clear. So if you're having trouble getting it, also check that out too. So I'm going to lay it all flat. Here are my creases. I have a cross here and then 2 diagonals here. I've got it oriented like a square. I'm going to take the middle of this right edge, fold it down along this diagonal crease to the middle of the bottom. So it makes this triangle. Then I'm going to take this corner, bring it down to that corner. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to take the middle of the left side, bring it down to the bottom middle. So it makes a triangle. And then this corner that's sticking up, I'm going to take it down to the left corner and then collapse everything. And then what I'm left with is this triangle with a long edge down at the bottom. And then the folds inside should look like this. There's like folded up bits inside. It's like a, you guys ever see pita bread? That's a pocket. kind of what this looks like. Okay. So with this long edge facing down, I'm going to take this right corner. You see there's 2 layers here. I'm going to take the top layer and then fold it along this crease until it goes up and meets that top corner. Just like that. So I have 1 layer that got pulled up to the top right here. Basically, I'm going to end up making a diamond. So there's one side. I'm going to do the same thing on the left side. So I'm going to take this corner, fold it up towards the top, and then crease it. So they should meet in the middle. This one did pretty good. Sometimes I don't get this part exactly right and they overlap a little bit. That's okay too. You can still make a balloon. They overlap. So I have a diamond here with 2 triangles on the bottom on either side. I'm going to flip it over and do the same thing to the back side. So I'm going to take this corner, fold it up towards the top, crease it. I'm going to do the left side, take this corner, fold it up to the top, and then crease it. So I have a lovely small paper diamond with an opening in the middle. I'm going to pause for just a second if people need to get caught up. Okay. So once I got to this stage, I'm going to be making the side pockets and kind of tuck everything in to make the final shape of the balloon. So I have the crease going up and down, and then these 2 corners on either side. What I'm going to do is take this side corner and fold it until it meets that crease in the middle. And I'm going to do that with this side and then flip it over and do the other side the same way. So I'm going to take the side corner. Hopefully it's not confusing that I twisted it. Fold it to the center. Ideally, they'll be pointing right at each other. Mine are a little misaligned all the time. That's okay. It'll still work. Like that. I'm going to flip it over and then do the same thing to the other side. So I have this corner. I'm going to fold it towards the center. Same thing. I'll take this corner, fold it into the center line. So I have this. So this is the shape that I get at the end of all that. So if you'll notice at this point, I have one pointed end with all this mess up here up top and a little point. What I'm going to do is take each of these and tuck them into these little pockets that I made. So you should have 1, 2, 3, 4 triangle shaped pockets around your origami balloon. So you just need to fold these corners down and tuck them inside the pocket, like that. If you're doing a bigger size paper, they're going to end up being a little bigger. If you started out with a smaller origami paper, they'll be a little smaller. So you might have to pinch it. Along this crease that I do, if you take your thumb and push on it, the pocket should open up a little bit more. And then it's easier to tuck your paper inside. Like that. So you should still have a point left over along the top. I'm going to flip it over, do the same thing, pop open that pocket, tuck my paper in, crease it, fold it down. For all 4 pockets. I'm going to lay that down so it's flat. Okay. So I have a point here and a point here. If you'll notice, I'm going to open this up a little bit more. This point here is sealed, but if I flip it over, there's a little hole here on the side of my balloon. I'm going to open up this a little bit. Hopefully you can see. So this is what I will blow into to inflate it. At this point, all my folding is done. All I have to do is blow into that little hole, and then hopefully I should inflate my balloon. So I just blew a little bit into it. It's starting to inflate. Sometimes they get stuck a little bit. Let's pull it out. And we have our origami balloon. Should make a snowman with these. That would be fun. All right. Hopefully you all got through that. Oh, that's awesome. Is that Avery? All right, so Scott, can we spotlight Nathaniel Avery for a second? So she drew something on her paper, and if you look through the hole that she blew into, you can see a little surprise drawing.
Wait, well, I want to show you mine.
Sure.
I used to make these all the time. If you draw a picture inside and look through, you can have a picture.
Yeah, they're addicting. Yeah, whenever I was bored, I would be making origami balloons if I had paper. Yeah, sometimes they take a little while to inflate. Nice.
Wait, no, I think you gotta be a little closer. Now this is Mr. Tree. Mr. Tree. Mr. Tree.
Oh, you're Mr. Tree. That's real creative. Surprise drawing. Hopefully you all can see that. See the crazy eyes. That is something else. That's awesome. Does anybody else want to share their origami so far?
Here's Tater Tot.
Hey, Tater Tot.
Tree once again with the overly detailed eyes.
I like that he has like a stash going on. Yeah.
Thank
With
you.
the fuzz.
Here's Evie.
Let me turn off my virtual background. Okay, here's my beautiful inverse.
Oh, that is lovely. What did you use
For the paper?
for paper? Is that origami paper? Or is that?
I just have origami paper that's.
Oh, okay. For a second back here, it looked like gift wrap paper. I like that you added a star on it too. That's awesome.
Thank you.
All right, so we have a little less than 10 minutes left. Let's go for simplicity, because this one's a little more complicated. I'll show you real quick how to do the wreath, because the folding part is pretty easy. I'm just going to take random colors for this one. So if you have origami paper, all you have to do is cut it in half. To make a complete circle, you need 8 of these folded bits. So that's just 4 pieces of origami paper cut in half. If you are using just whatever paper, like scrap, I haven't tried this with scrap gift wrap paper. I think I'll try that this time. So, you know, any paper will do. It just has to be in a square and then cut in half. And they can be all the same color. They can be all different colors. I did my first one alternating, just so I wasn't using up all of one green. See how crazy we can make this wreath. The plaid wreath. Oh, I should send you the instruction link as well. So I'm cutting this kind of quick, so it isn't perfect. And then the link will also have on another page instructions for the bow. I'm not going to get into that right now because, again, it took me like 3 times to get it right. So if you feel like you're up for a challenge, origami challenge, take it to the next step. You can try that bow. I think we'll only have time for the wreath for today, though. Okay. So I have my strips of paper. 1 second to get the instructions up. Okay, so what we're doing, I'll pull this one apart so you can see, is that with the folding, we're making these little, they look like feet to me, these little square triangle foot things. They each have a pocket on the top, and then these little triangles can slot into the pockets. So they all kind of attach into each other. And then when you have 8 of them, they make a circle. Oop, I this one backwards. I'm off camera. Anyway. So they all slot together and then make a full circle. This one's falling apart. So I will show you how to make those little feet first. So we have a strip of paper like this. If you have double-sided paper, when you fold it, make sure that the color that you want to fold is on the outside, but we're just going to fold it long ways. Like that. And then I have a crease side and an open side. The open side is going to be facing away from me, and the crease side is going to be at the bottom right here. I'm going to take the corner on the open side and just fold it down to the bottom to make a triangle. Like that. And then I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. So I have this long strip with 2 triangle shapes on either side. From here, all I have to do is fold it in half. So the triangles overlap on top of each other like that. So we have point edge, and then at the top, hopefully you can see there are little pockets in the paper. So they can slot into each other like that. So we just have to make 8 of those little feet things. I don't know how far we'll get as class is running out, but hopefully that makes sense. I have my strip, and then I fold it over like that. I'm going to try with the wrapping paper. I know we are quickly getting to the end of class. It always goes so fast with you guys. Does anybody have any questions or anything that they want to share?
Yes, I have one.
Yes.
Can you go back? Because I want to see how to make the wreath again.
How to make the wreath again?
Mhm.
Okay. So we have, I'll just kind of like unfold this one. So I have strips, the origami paper I cut in half so that it's in strips. I'm going to take one strip with the pattern part facing out, or the colored part facing out. And then I'm going to fold it in half long ways and then crease it like that. And then I have a crease side and an open side. The open side is going to go on the top, and then the crease side is going to go on the bottom facing me. I'm going to take each top corner and then fold it down towards the bottom to make a triangle shape like this. And go on the other side, the top corner goes down to the bottom, and then I crease it. So then I have this thing. It's like, I guess, a trapezoid. So there's a long edge, shorter edge, and then 2 angled edges. Now all I have to do is take these 2 triangles and fold them on top of each other. I just fold this whole thing in half. And then if you look at the top, you should be able to see little pockets. So the triangle points, once you have 8 of these feet things, the triangle points will slot in to those pockets. And then once you have 8 of them, they will make a circle. Actually, I should alternate the colors better. Do this green one. This is going to be a very funky wreath. So you can see how it's starting to form a circle. once I get those triangles placed in. Boom. You just have to do it 8 times to get a full little wreath. But it totally works with gift wrapping paper. So if you guys have scrap gift wrapping paper, you turn it into stuff. Is anybody doing anything fun for the holidays before we say goodbye? And I was going to ask that earlier and we just like jumped right into class.
I go on bike rides wearing my Santa Claus suit.
That is awesome.
Actually,
Let me just complete.
there it is.
Is it hard to bike in a Santa Claus suit? That is awesome, Scott.
No, it's not that hard.
It's not that hard. Yeah, you
No,
don't get
it's pretty easy.
you don't get sweaty.
No, I just keep biking and it's breezy. I go down by the beach.
Okay. No, it's getting quite chilly where I am. You are getting stuck on something. This one keeps getting stuck. I'm not sure why. I think there's a little tear. It's getting stuck on a little tear. All right, I'll have to try that another time. Pull from this one. I know I'm usually this time of year running around like a mad person because I have all this stuff to get done before Christmas, and this year's a little more chill, so that's at least nice. Let's make this thing work. All right. It's a funky wreath. All right. Anybody want to share what they came up with before we break for today? Sorry, I haven't been watching the chat. All right. So I won't see you guys till January, so after the holidays, and then we will break back up again. But I hope you guys, if you're celebrating Christmas, you have a very Merry Christmas. And then I will see you in January. Tater, do you want to show what you got there? Yeah?
This is tome, or what's what he's got so far.
Uh-huh.
That hybrid is going to be pretty epic.
That is awesome.
Wow, that's gonna be cool.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, that's gonna look awesome. I like it in skull form already. Looking pretty cool. Anybody else want to share their work, even if it's not work that they've done in class, just stuff that they're working on?
I like to show. I want to show my dinosaur. I want to show. I'll go get him. Give me that for Molly. She's not a costume. Remember, Mr. Tree will always be an anime.
Mr. Tree will always be an anime.
Yes. I just finished making sewing a dinosaur plush.
Oh wow!
Oh,
Sorry.
That's awesome. How long did that take you?
I'll say like a day and a half.
Day and a half? Wow.
Oh. It's a play.
That's adorable. You guys are all so talented. That's awesome. Did anybody else have anything that they want to share real quick? Yeah, we had a request. Or I think she sees it. Well, are there any other questions? Let me scroll down. Potato, did you have? Is that your character?
Yes, this is
That
my
looks
character
awesome.
Midnight.
Uh-huh.
She is my persona.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So is she a sea creature, or does she just have a kind of
She's a kind of
fluffy
a
tail?
cat hybrid of
Cat
something
hybrid?
or other. Yeah.
Yeah, the tail made me think mermaid for a second. Yeah. I love the colors.
Thank
That is
you.
awesome. Cool. Anybody else? Good, we're cutting away over there. Awesome. Well, I think that's it. So I think we will wrap class up with that. Goodbye, everyone. Hope to see you in January. We're going to start up a completely different theme month. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So check out the website once we have all that information up.
Okay, I love you. Bye-bye.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.
I love you. Bye-bye.
bye.
Thanks, Scott, for helping.
Thank you. Bye.